go for two. Come on.
Oh, shot.
He liked the line, Johnny. He just didn't have quite enough club. I think the wind grabbed it and threw it back in his face a little bit. He's really ended up with egg on his face, and that's not a fried one, it's a poachy. So it's extra runny. He's got some of that yolk up his nose. Oh, thanks, Cat.
One more.
I know, I really did. Thanks a lot, Dougie. Where were you on that one?
Alright, who went to bed the latest?
Maybe you guys.
No. Who went to bed at 11:30? Come on, someone stayed out till 2. Who stayed out till 2? Alright, you stay out first.
No pressure, man.
First hole, random golf club. We've got, looks like 17 people showed up. Doug, first of all, thanks for carrying my bag. This is the first time the director of golf has carried my bag. I feel very honored. What? Tell me about Titirangi Golf Course.
There's quite a bit to know. Where do you want me to start?
Well, I guess first we could find my ball. You know, I could just drop too. I don't mind. You think you got it? I'm afraid to know where it is, to be honest with you. Well, I guess, you know, obviously, historically, it's a very significant course.
Yeah, the original origins of golf in Auckland started at One Tree Hill, which you probably can't quite see it here, but it's the volcanic cone in Auckland with the concrete spire on it. So the original courses that were used for golf in Auckland were situated there. A couple of the members, or the original members there, they owned this land that Titirangi's on, and they put it up for option for an additional course. So that original course opened in 1914, and then they started to look at redeveloping the golf course, and they started off with an Australian architect. I think his name was AJ Moss.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sort of in the running, and then they heard of this architect, Alister MacKenzie, coming down to Australia, and so they quickly changed their thought processes and went with MacKenzie. So MacKenzie arrived early 1927 and redesigned the layout that was originally put in place, and it took probably about 4 years for that to be fully implemented.
That's a little short. You couldn't what?
Couldn't find it. So
yeah, it's
left it to the course there. Someone will find it.
It's a bit hard to, you know, play this game with so many people. It's hard to play this game as it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I really hope Grandma's not having tea right now. This could be her last Saturday. You want to roll down?
Yeah.
I ought to hit a bunker shot. Woo! Nice shot. Come on.
Man.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Nick. I'm from, I live down the road in Auckland, and I'm a musician.
What kind of music?
I play drums in a rock band called Echo Park.
Wait, I used to live in Echo Park in LA.
Dude, there you go, look at that. We spell it a little different. E-C-E-K-K. Yeah, and I play golf during the week, and it's an ongoing challenge.
It's funny because a lot of people wouldn't think that a rock band musician would be playing golf.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. I met Alice Cooper once. He plays golf.
Loves it.
He's on like I think he's a scratch handicapper, right?
Yeah, he plays all the time. What is it that you love about golf?
Man, I love that. I've played since I was younger. I got back into it watching your show actually a few years ago.
No way.
Yeah, I kind of stopped for a bit, and then I was like, you know what? I love this game. Yeah, and man, I love that. It's kind of a game against yourself. I love you can do things like this. Go play with a bunch of random people. This morning I went and played at a random golf course about an hour from here. teed up with a bunch of random people, had a great time, you know.
That's great.
They could have been doctors and lawyers, I don't know. But it was awesome. Yeah, man, I love it. And I love that every day is different, you know.
That's awesome.
You can't master it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
All right, we'll make that putt.
I will.
I want to see that.
I'm going to try it.
I'm going to cross the street here and see how this goes. This is good.
We can start.
Oh, God. Almost died. That was close.
Dangerous game, right?
Is this what you expected?
I thought there was going to be a ton of people.
More? How much were you expecting?
Well, some of my buddies were at Arrowtown with you guys. And I was like, well, fuck, there was 15 people there, so.
Those are good guys. That was last second, too.
Yeah.
I think the New Zealand Open influenced a lot of people to come.
Yeah, but you announced this one, I feel like.
Yeah, the other one I didn't really announce. The other one was just sort of like people showed up. I don't know how that happened. I can't believe this many people came. I don't know anybody in this town. Yeah, well.
What's it like?
Nice
You meet people
ball.
and you're like, hi, I'm Eric, and they're like, I know. Yeah.
I don't know. Half the time it's weird, half the time it's normal. You know?
Half the time it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it'd be kind of like if we were like, hey, and you were like, my name's Graham. I'm like, yeah, I know, I recognize you from the coffee shop.
True.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
And you're like, well, I don't know. A lot of people come and go through the coffee shop. I don't know.
And they go, and then remember last weekend? I know you're at Curry Cliffs, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like, I also know everything about you. No.
Ball. Wow.
Speed golf champion Nick aspires to be a caddy on the European Tour. Is that true?
That is true, yeah.
Well, if you're watching this and you're a player on the European Tour who doesn't have a caddy, hire this guy. He's fast and he's smart and he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. What about golf?
My golf.
I don't know. Just talk about golf.
Golf. Oh, that's a bit of a bland sport. You got to speed it up, you know.
Do you know about Alister MacKenzie much?
Well, just that he's a course architect, the only one. I can't remember what other famous course he's designed, but yeah, I just knew that he designed this one.
He also did Augusta.
That's right.
I think it's cool that you don't know, because that means you have something to know. How old are you?
Oh yeah, 17.
Dude, Matt, remember when you were 17? Well, only if you're 16 watching this, you don't remember when you're 17. But if you're 50, you do remember that day.
The day that I found out that Alister MacKenzie made Augusta.
I'm getting used to this, Doug. I feel like royalty over here.
How did you get Doug caddy?
I don't know. He grabbed the bag.
What's your role here, Doug? The director of golf at Titirangi is caddying for Eric. I have no idea how he does
Did Paul
it.
Reed do this?
By the way, the first thing he said to me is, "What's an influencer?" Uh-oh, who wants to announce this?
Dougie.
Doug, you want to announce it?
And that's what?
Ace cam.
Oh, the ace cam, okay.
You got to put some energy into it.
Alright, so 4th hole Titirangi Golf Club. It's called The Pitch. It's going to be playing roughly 140 metres. We've got ace cam in play. There's enough people here, so someone's bound to go close. So make some noise.
Yes. There's an intro. Who has the most hole-in-ones? Does anyone have 6 hole-in-ones? Colt has the most at 5. How many hole-in-ones do you have, Doug?
I said 4.
4 hole-in-ones on Doug.
Yeah.
Stuart's the Ace Cam King, everybody.
Oh hell!
You will bow to me
I need a bat.
unless I shank this. You may not bow anymore.
Nah,
about this course?
Stunning. Stunning. Don't you think you get to...
Scottish means stunning.
Stunning. That was actually more like a joke. You can tell straight. Look at the bunkering. Don't you think it's just... You can tell straight away when it's like... Dr. Alister MacKenzie. Big Al Mac. Ali Mac, as the women used to call him.
Yeah, they did.
The doc.
I heard that. They called him the good doctor.
The golf doctor.
Yeah. It's true.
Wait, how are you feeling? Did you expect this many people to show up?
Nope, not at all. I always expected to just be the three of us. And maybe Nick. Is this us here?
This is us here.
Great.
Green, left, over those trees.
Okay.
Doug's got a story for you.
Okay.
Okay, so basically the story is, for some of you may or may not know, Ryan Fox is New Zealand's #1 golfer, and he's arguably one of the longest players in the world. So I'll digress a little bit. This hole, when it was originally designed, the golfers were only hitting it sort of 200 metres maximum, and you'd sort of hit it down just over the crest of the hill, and the second shot would be a long iron or a fairway wood up into the green, which is around the corner to the left behind the trees there. So as you can see there, the yardage there's 380 metres from the white tees. Ryan Fox 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, stood here, took it left of that big tree with a Erik Anders fade, landed it 20 short of the green, rolled up onto the green, and then he rolled it in for 2.
I wish he was here. We give him a round of applause.
That's what we're looking for from you guys. This is a variation of Ace Cam. Nathan just asked about when's a good time to stop caring about score. You've been playing golf for a year and a half?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, when I was playing golf for a year and a half, this is 8 years ago, or 6.5 years ago, and I was like really involved in the golf swing, watching videos on YouTube, learning about my own
so many
swing.
videos.
Do you?
Too many.
You basically become engulfed in like getting better. You said you've had like a couple birdies?
Yeah, and I play with guys that are very good too.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too. So they're going to rub off on you.
I hope so.
In a
Not
good
the
way.
other way around.
Well, because sometimes when I play with good players, they're less fun to play with. Because
Yeah,
they're
some are-
really looking for that edge.
Or they're like not interested in you mucking around because you're looking at a double, and they're like, "Oh, just hurry up."
Yep, that's true. Yeah,
I'm
so
not gonna rat out any of my friends. Matt.
Matt, you're in trouble. No, but I mean, like, you know, like sometimes people who are a little hot-headed that are good, I'd rather play with someone who's bad that's just chill.
Yeah, fair.
But you know, the whole like letting go of score thing, I think at that point I had already broken 80, and I had you know a lot of great things happen, and you know, I proved to myself that I could be as good as I wanted to be. I thought I would be much closer to a single digit, and then basically I spent years trying to break par.
Right.
Like really trying against lessons and like, you know, putting and everything, and like the closest I could get was 2 over. I wanted to break par so badly that I actually stopped enjoying the game.
Yeah.
And I became very close to being the guy that like just sort of sells his clubs. And
Snaps one maybe.
yeah. And to be totally honest, I mean, it's obviously it's a difficult to repeat situation, but I started making the show, Adventures in Golf. And I basically saw like that golf was a really wonderful opportunity to travel, a wonderful opportunity to meet people and talk about something other than what you had on 18.
Yeah, because no one cares.
Nobody cares.
No one cares about that story about that time you. Yeah.
Well, and that's what's the cool thing about here is like no one's gonna walk away and try to tell you that they had a birdie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thanks.